Good morning students. Let us start with the second chapter of chemistry is matter around us pure. The main lesson objectives are you are going to learn about matter, already you learned matter, pure substances, elements and compounds. You are going to know about mixtures, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Now what is matter? Anything can occupy space, that is known as matter. We already learned in detail about matter in the first chapter. So we already learned about the classification of matter on physical state, solids, liquids and gases. On this basis of chemical composition, now already we classified on the basis of physical composition, solid, liquid and gases. Now we are going to learn about the, depending on the chemical composition, how matter can be classified. So matter can be classified into two, pure substances and mixtures. So pure substances, which is classified into elements and compounds. Elements and compounds, but pure means only one kind of atoms are there. So suppose elements, oxygen, hydrogen, sulfur, carbon, these are all elements. Compounds means there are two or more elements. There is a possibility that may be one element or two or more elements chemically combined together to form compound. For example, H2O, water molecule, NaCl. So you can see here two or more elements are combined chemically. They cannot be separated through any physical means. So that is the classification of pure substances. Next we will come to the mixture. Mixture means two or more substances are mixing together. So they are classified into homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous means homo means uniform, same composition. So we can't identify their components, what are the components in the mixture. We cannot identify by seeing that. And heterogeneous mixture means we can identify but the compositions are different. That is heterogeneous mixture. So what do you mean by homogeneous? Can you tell one example for the homogeneous mixture? If you are mixing sodium chloride with salt with water, can you identify sodium chloride and water molecule in that compound mixture? No. We cannot identify the separate components. It is looking uniformly. Heterogeneous means we can identify. Suppose sand and NaCl. If you are mixing sand and NaCl, two compounds are mixing. So it is a mixture. We can it is not in uniform composition. So that is called a heterogeneous mixture. Pure substances, they are made up of only one kind of atoms. So that we already explained in the first slide. That is categorized into elements and compounds. So these elements, the form of matter, the pure substance, which cannot be separated by any physical means. It cannot separate by any physical means, through filtration or by magnetic separation, nothing. We cannot separate by any physical means. So it is classified as elements and compounds. Elements as only one kind of atom. Here the case of compound, two or more elements combined chemically in a fixed ratio to form a particular molecule. For example, compound, water molecule. Here hydrogen and oxygen, they are combined in a fixed ratio to form 2:1 ratio to form water molecule. NH3, that is what ammonia. Here nitrogen and hydrogen, which is combined in a fixed ratio to form a ammonia molecule. NaCl is what? It is sodium chloride. Here sodium and chlorine atom combined chemically to form sodium chloride. So these are the examples for the compounds, and these are elements. For example, elements, helium atom, hydrogen atom, oxygen atom, nitrogen atom. So these are the examples for the elements. What do you mean by pure substance? It is made up of only one kind of atoms. So again we are going in detail of pure substances. So we know it is classified into elements and compounds. Now we are going to explain separately. First of all, element. So what is element? It is the basic form of the matter. So which are the basic form? This can be classified. This can be broken. This cannot be broken down into a simple substance through any chemical or physical means. So these elements can be metals, non-metals, metalloids, which can be categorized under elements. So let us start with the properties of metals, non-metals and metalloids. These all properties we already learned in the 8th standard. So just we are revising that. So first of all, properties of metal. They are having very shiny appearance. They are lustrous in nature and they are malleable and ductile. Malleable means they can be written into sheets, and they are ductile. They can be drawn into wires, and they are very good conductors of heat and electricity. And they are sonorous. Sonorous means they are producing sound. When they will beat on a surface, they will produce sound. Example: iron, aluminium, zinc, mercury, copper, silver, gold, etc. Here mercury is a metal, but it is in the liquid state. We will explain in the coming slide in more detail. Properties of non-metals. So it is the opposite property of metal. They do not have lustrous nature. They are not at all shiny, and they are not malleable or not at all ductile, and they are not. They are the poor conductors of heat and electricity, and they are not at all sonorous. For example, all gases which will coming under the category of non-metals: hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, iodine, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, etc. These are coming under the category of non-metals, all gases. And they are gases solid also, and they are existing in the gaseous state also. Next is properties of metalloids. Metalloids, these are the elements which show some property of both the metals and non-metals. So for example, boron, silicon, germanium, etc. Semiconductors, we know they are coming under the category of metalloids. Metals are solid. All metals are solid at room temperature except mercury. We can see in a thermometer, mercury, that column is there, that is made up of mercury metal, that is liquid state. And metals have crystal lattice. They are arranged in a lattice form. They are closely packed. Their atoms are very adjacent, and they are very closely packed. And metals are very hard. But one metal is there that is very soft, which is sodium, which can be easily broken. Metals have luster. Luster character we already explained, that is shiny nature. And metals are very good conductors of heat and electricity. Then next is malleability and ductility, and they are producing sonorous and having high melting and boiling point. For example, in the case of iron, it is having a melting point above 1000 degrees Celsius. So why it is having high melting point? Here the crystal lattice of the iron is very strong, and very much energy is needed to break the bond between the atoms. So high melting, high heat energy is required to break the bonds between the iron atoms. So it is having high melting point. Non-metals. Non-metals we already just explained. Let's look at the properties. Non-metals are either gases or solid at room temperature. There are no liquids. And they are generally having dull surfaces. They are not having luster property. They are not at all shiny, and they are mostly poor conductors of heat and electricity. They are very soft. They are powdery nature, and non-metals are non-malleable. They cannot be beaten into sheets, and they are not at all ductile in nature, and they are not at all sonorous. They are not producing sound, and they are having very low melting and boiling point compared to metals. Next category of the pure substances, that is compound. Compound is a pure substance which containing two or more elements which is chemically combined together. So they are in the fixed proportion by mass. For example, water. Water is in fixed proportion. Hydrogen and oxygen, which is in the fixed ratio 2:1 to form the water molecule. They are chemically combined together. So that is the compound. Now let us discuss about the points regarding elements and compounds. Elements, they contain only one kind of atom. For example, helium atom, oxygen atom, hydrogen atom, sulfur atom, etc. Here compounds, what are they are made up of two or more elements. They are containing two or more elements, two or more kind of atoms. For example, water molecule, NH3, NaCl, copper sulfate, sodium chloride, etc. These are the examples for the compounds. Next point is, they cannot be decomposed by ordinary chemical mix. By some chemical reaction, through some chemical reaction, their components cannot be separated. That is the element. So we cannot decompose elements, that is only one kind of atom, but we can decompose by chemical means in the case of compound. So by some processes, chemical reaction, it can be broken down into its constituents. Which are the constituent of the compounds of water molecule? Hydrogen atom and oxygen atom. So it can be by chemical means it can be separated into two or more elements. That is the condition for compounds. So let us discuss the examples of elements and compounds. Children, what are the examples for the elements? Oxygen, helium, oxygen O2, helium He, nitrogen N2, sodium Na, chlorine Cl, and there are more elements. We know 118 elements are there till now discovered. And now just we will come to the example for the compounds. So already we explained called NaCl, H2O, aluminium oxide Al2O3. Which are the elements here? Aluminium and oxygen. Carbon dioxide, CO2, alcohol, C2H5OH, carbon is there, hydrogen is there, again oxygen. These are the constituents of alcohol. So it is an example for the compound. Ammonia, NH3, silicon dioxide, SiO2, and more, there are many millions of compounds are there. So let us recap these points already we learned in this session. So we discussed about matter. Matter, anything which occupies space is known as matter. So depending on the physical state of matter, we already classified into solid, liquid, gas, and we know the properties of solid, liquid, gas also. And by the chemical composition, it is classified into pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances, pure means only one kind of atoms are there. So these in the case of elements, for example, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, etc. Compounds, what do you mean by compounds? Two or more elements combine chemically to form the compound. For example, H2O, NH3, SO2, etc. Mixture we are going to explain in next session in detail. It will be categorized into two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous mixtures are having uniform composition and heterogeneous mixtures are having the different composition. Thank you.